with each album, I would suppose then that universe expands, but as you mentioned as well, without trying to alienate what the core of Cradle of Filth is. So is that a difficult thing to balance?
I guess so, yeah, because you don't want to repeat yourself. I mean, there's some bands, or where you could just. I'm not naming anyone, and I'm not pointing fingers at anyone, literally at all. But you can expect. I mean, you can tell what the cover's going to be like long before it even comes out. You know roughly what the album's going to be like. It can. Some bands work like that. I mean, not everybody wants to put on a record and have to go for a philosophy test. People just want to escape, but if you want a little bit deeper, then I feel that the people behind the music need to be doing the work. So you're not doing it. And metal in general is about escapism. And Suffer Our Dominion, which is, I guess, our most socio-political song we've ever written, which because it has an observation on the current climate and what's going on, albeit in cradle language. I think that's as far as we would go, because metal is about escapism, and people put a metal record on because they want to feel empowered, or they just want to indulge in something. They want to be taken away. They want to, they want to fantasize. Do you know what I mean?
Sure, of course. But what if I? Oh, sorry.
They don't want to be lectured about politics, or have to think too much about the problems they're facing in the everyday world, I guess.
But that's not an interesting point, because from your perspective, as the one who creates and performs it, what do you get out of it? Is it for you a sense of escapism as well? Because obviously, as you're creating the album and delving into all these types of themes, I would say that's kind of a deep dive in a way, right?
Well, it's all cathartic.
Okay.
It's like pressure release. You've got all these ideas in your head. You formulate them. You formulate, perform them, and hand them on a platter, a vinyl platter to people. And that whole process is really cathartic. About basically ridding yourself of the demons that are floating around your head. I mean, I can only use the last show because the one prior to that was a year and a half prior to that. But Bloodstock was a perfect example. Being up there playing the new song, people really into it, seeing everybody's attitudes and seeing everybody like really enjoying themselves and getting into the music, and all the great bands and all the people I've met before. It would be journalists or people working there, or promoters or other band members, roadies and crew and lighting guys. It was great. It was a great eye opener, and it's suddenly you realise your place and everything. And again, when you're in a band, you do it primarily for yourself. You write stuff for yourself, but at the same time, and just as importantly, you're writing stuff for your fans, and you don't want to let them down. And especially our fans, I think it could be our bugbear, but or especially mine. But people come to expect a certain tenacity and a level of lyricism with Cradle of Filth, and a certain depth. So I guess if we did an album and it was all about girls with big boobs and Ferraris, people would be slightly disappointed. Right. They'd think, that's a little shallow this time, I think.